Charlie Bevins, ESPN 1000 producer. What's up, man? How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
It's going good. It's almost the weekend, so I'm excited for that. How about you though? What's happening on your end?
Well, so I got a haircut today, and like as the hair was falling onto that little weird bib towel they give you,
Yeah,
I noticed a few
yeah.
gray hairs in there. I was like, oh no, it's happening already. But other than that, can't complain. Other
I,
than just moving, that's kind of those are the two predicaments I'm facing right now.
I know moving is stressful, and maybe that's what's contributing to maybe the one or two little gray hairs you must have seen,
Possibly,
but
yeah.
it's not fun. I know that feeling. You're like, what are you like, 20? I don't even know. I'm guessing
I'm
23, 24.
23. Yeah, I turned 23 a couple months ago.
23. Awesome. I'm 33. I think about it for a minute. I haven't really seen the gray hairs, but I do think of when I'm looking in the mirror, maybe it's the light or whatever. Maybe I have seen one or two. So I don't
Yeah.
think you have anything to worry about anytime
Well,
soon,
see,
but
the issue is my dad is we call him the silver fox now because he's got so much gray hair.
okay.
He didn't
Mhm.
get that till his 40s, so maybe I'm just a little bit earlier. But I don't know. The sun, I'm like right in front of my window right now, so it makes it look a little more vibrant as opposed to noir, I guess.
Exactly. That's true. I think it's just the I don't know. There was a mirror one time I was looking at it. I was like, wow, things think it seems more pronounced than it usually would be.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe it was just the. But anyway, though, I know, and you said you're moving. I know how stressful that can be. It's never fun. So, but I assume wherever you're moving will have air condition, right?
It's my air conditioner right there. It's
There you go. You got
the
one.
building
So
does not have central AC, but I have my own unit, so we're good. No dips necessary. We'll be living the good life.
I wish I know that was like very recently that show where that whole topic came up. But did you ever expect on the Black and Abdallah show? Did you ever expect that topic to even become either a topic or become what it was? I mean, you've been around the block on Black and Abdallah by this point to know what things happen, where things go on there. But were you expecting to be kind of the focal point of that segment?
Yeah, so it was funny. So sorry, that's a fine. But the but the so I remember like I was helping them. I was buying tortillas with them because that's when they did that slap thing, and then it was really hot
Yeah,
that day, and I was like, oh yeah, like I
yeah,
don't have AC, and then Black was like, oh, hey, that sucks, and I thought that was kind of, I just thought that'd be the end of that, and it turned into this,
yeah.
whole thing where like I'm getting calls and they're like, is this Charlie? I'm like, yeah. They're like, here, I got some tips for you, and it's like, I'm taking notes. Honestly, some of them were pretty good. Like
Yeah.
somebody was like, freeze a wet rag and then put that on your neck. It was like
Yeah.
98 that day. It was
Yeah.
really warm, but yeah, that was. I
Yeah.
mean, that's kind of the cool thing about it. It's like about radio in general. It's like you can say kind of some throwaway like, oh yeah, this is what's going on in my life, and then it can turn into a full like segment and a half or whatever it ended up being.
Yeah, no, and I mean, obviously, you've been on the. I don't know. You've been with ESPN 1000 for like the last what 6 months, or is it more less than that?
It's less. I started. I think last week of March. I think that was when I was there. Either last week of March, first week of April.
Wow. Okay, I thought it was actually a lot longer than that. Okay. Anyway, though, yeah. So you've obviously you've you've gotten to experience the Black and Abdallah and really all the different shows that you're a part of. I know you were like on Cap
Hmm.
recently, and of course, there was like sleeping in the studio thing. I mean,
Right.
you had a good reason, of course, but like
Yeah.
you become kind of like this. I think you're honestly just fitting in, just like all the other people. Like Black and Abdallah have said that they've crashed in the studio or whatever the night before type of thing when they have like an early show. So it's not like you're doing anything different. But did you expect to have that story also go public?
Not necessarily. Well, because like the thing was like I didn't want to make it sound like I was like complaining about it. Like it was more just like me, just like,
Right.
yeah, this is what I'm doing because like I'm bartending and then I get off. Really, the thing is like I'm worried I'm going to sleep through my alarm because like I get off at like on Fridays. Our show
Yeah.
our show ends at like 11:30, and
Hmm.
Chauncey shows at 6 the next day. So I try to be there by like 5:30. So I'm like, I mean, I've slept in worse situations before than like a couch upstairs. So
Yeah.
might as well do it. And then like if I do sleep through or whatever, if I'm up at 5:30 instead
You're
of
right there.
4:30, yeah, exactly. I just go downstairs and throw it in the system. But yeah, that
Yeah.
it is one of those things where it's like, you make it work, right? Like I'm 23. It's not like I need like a ton of hours of sleep to function. So yeah,
Right. Yeah.
I'll be doing that again this Friday. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, like when I was a kid, I would always fall asleep on the couch. So it's not like it's nothing. It's not like it's some new crazy thing for
But no, it makes sense. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. And then you mentioned like, you also had a date, and I was like, man, Charlie's becoming a legend before our very eyes. Like, but I was curious, so to kind of take it back a little bit. So what's your story? Like, how did you become interested? I'm guessing obviously interested in sports or sports media or media in general, but ESPN 1000. Like, how did it all kind of come together?
So yeah, so I was born. Let me take it back to when I was born. No, but so like I was born around here. Like my whole family's from here. I grew up in Portland, Oregon, but
Okay.
all my teams are Chicago. I'm a Blazer fan, but whatever. But I went to DePaul because I knew I wanted to work in sports media. I didn't necessarily know where that would be, but just by being in Chicago, you have so much access to various media outlets. And I just figured it's a place like I'm comfortable with. Like I would come back here all the time. So that's where I ended up going. And then I did sports, Radio DePaul Sports with Jake.
Mm,
Funny. Yeah, he and I graduated the same year. Um,
yeah.
so we were at the same station for all 4 years. And then we graduated, and then I was kind of back in, well, because like obviously like we graduated during COVID. Like 2020
Mhm.
was my junior year of college, and I was interning at WGN at that point, and it was one of those things where it's like there's not really anything for you to do. Like you can go home if you want. um,
Yeah.
and then I was just kind of like, all right, well, let's see how I can do without sports being around, and that's kind of how I got. I'd always been interested in doing like stand up and stuff like that. I know you said you want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of like, all right, let's explore this other part of me. And then obviously once the bubble happened, I was like all in and stuff like that. But yeah, and then I started. I bartended for about a year at this comedy club, and then in
Okay.
January, I think Jake was like, "Yeah, we got. They're looking for producers at 1,000. Like, you should apply." And I was like, "All right, let's do it." And then here we
Yeah.
are.
So that's cool. And so the being a comedian. So you said that started what, a couple years ago, or was that longer?
So it's always been something I've been kind of. It's always been like an itch I needed to scratch, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then push came to shove, and it was like, all right. Like I entered a writing contest, I remember,